For March Madness 2022, I am partnering with BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Using the link in the description, you can get a 125% sign-up bonus using the promo code JOIN125. A $100 minimum deposit is necessary. Get in on the action on this NCAA tournament and March Madness season and any other sport in general, and make some money. Get in on the action with BetUS. Before we get started with this video, I want to let you guys know about my Discord server. We're talking college basketball live games, just college basketball in general, bracketology, Q&As, all that stuff. Hit the link in the description to join the Super Celtic 24 Discord server. Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to the 2022 ACC Atlantic Coast Tournament Predictions. Now, I think everybody would have to agree that this has been a down year for the ACC. I mean, really, there's only one team that's been ranked consistently in the top 25 all year, and that's been Duke. And I mean, even then, like last night, overall, Duke hasn't really... I know I did pick them to win the championship in my Friday bracketology, which was a big mistake. But really, Duke hasn't been elite this year. I mean, they've been very good. I mean, they've always been ranked around like 4 to 7, but they just haven't dominated opponents like you would expect a Duke team to do, especially in Coach K's last year. But really, before we get into the tournament analysis, I want to let you guys know about the subscriber giveaway. If we hit 7,777 subscribers by Selection Sunday, which is March 13th, only a week away, I will be giving away an NCAA tournament ticket. All you got to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, take a screenshot, send that over to @AlexPrice24 on Instagram, and that's all you got to do. I'll send you your entered confirmation so that way you know you're into the giveaway. More details on that giveaway are in the description below, so make sure you check that out and give that good old giveaway and enter. It's always fun to do. I've been doing that for like the last 3 or 4 years, something like that. But anyway, taking a look back at the bracket, the first overall seed is Duke. Now, we do have to mention, last night, Coach K's final home game, North Carolina came in there as 11-point underdogs and stunned the world. I mean, not just Duke fans, but the world. Nobody was expecting North Carolina to win that game, but they went and they won. I think the final score was like 94-81. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's what it was. They beat them by double digits on their home floor in Coach K's last game. I mean, he had to apologize afterwards. Man, that was just crazy. Nobody expected that to happen. North Carolina making a huge statement there. But taking a look here at the bracket, second overall seed in the ACC, Notre Dame came out of nowhere. I don't think really anybody was talking about Notre Dame in the offseason. They now find themselves as a 2 seed with a win over Kentucky back in December. The 3 seed is North Carolina. They were on the bubble a little bit. They made it to the last 4 in as well. But then with that win over Duke, they should be safely in the NCAA tournament, just trying to improve their seed at this point. Then the 4 seed is Miami. They've been kind of hanging around like the 9 to 10 range, the seed range in the NCAA tournament. They should be safe as well. They're just kind of hanging there. Then the 5th seed is Wake Forest, another surprise team. They should be safe for the NCAA tournament. I think that's kind of where the cutoff is for the NCAA tournament, unless one of those teams below actually win the ACC tournament, which may or may not happen. We'll see. But then Virginia and Virginia Tech both are kind of in that next 4 out range as of now. But Wake Forest, another surprise team. Nobody was really talking about them. They haven't made the NCAA tournament in like 5 years, I think, something like that. They are the 5 seed and should be able to make it this year. Then we have Virginia as the 6, a disappointing year for the Cavaliers, but they may be able to play their way back in. You never know. Then the 7th seed is Virginia Tech. 8th seed is Florida State, a disappointing year for the Seminoles. Last year, they were a favorite to go pretty far into the tournament. Then the 9th seed is Syracuse. 10 seed is Clemson. 11 seed is Louisville. Hugely disappointing season for Louisville. Had to fire their coach, Chris Mack, earlier in the season. And I think they've lost like 10 out of their last 11 games. It's just been a train wreck of a season for them, one they want to forget. Then we have Pittsburgh as a 12. Boston College as a 13. Georgia Tech as the 14. And then, man, poor NC State as the 15. They're just a season that they want to never remember. It's the last seed in a down year for the ACC. NC State has just not been doing too hot this year. But yeah, this tournament will conclude on Saturday instead of Selection Sunday. ACC usually does that. They finish a day early. But let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket here in the ACC tournament. I will be giving my predictions here for this tournament based off of the bracketology. I'll be going kind of round by round, giving my thoughts about each team, about each matchup, and then we'll see who I'll pick to win the ACC tournament. So up first, we're going to have Pittsburgh versus Boston College. Pittsburgh, I thought throughout most of the year was going to be the worst team in the ACC, but kind of turn it around there. Either way, I do think that for an upset's sake, we will have Boston College moving on there past Pittsburgh, but obviously I don't think either one of those two teams are going to go very far in the actual ACC tournament. Up next, we have Clemson versus NC State. Clemson has loved to kind of play spoiler a little bit for those top-tier ACC teams when they have to go on the road and face Clemson. I do not see NC State winning that game, so we are going to have Clemson advancing on to the next round past NC State. Up next, we have Louisville versus Georgia Tech. I do think that Louisville will actually get a win here in the ACC tournament, but it's not a win they'd want to have against the 14 seed there in the first round of the ACC tournament. So I'll have Louisville advancing on past Georgia Tech, but I mean, that's not really something you want to celebrate as a Louisville fan based off of your history. Then scrolling back up here, we'll start off with the second round as well. Florida State versus Syracuse. I think this one is kind of a toss-up. Syracuse, they've been able to make runs through the postseason. They're kind of one of those teams that has never really been fantastic, but they can always turn it on in the postseason when it matters. But I do think that Florida State, with Leonard Hamilton, I do think they'll be able to advance here to the quarterfinal round of the ACC tournament. Up next, we have Wake Forest versus Boston College. Don't think there's too much to talk about here with this matchup with Wake Forest and Boston College. I got Wake Forest advancing on to the quarterfinals. Don't think that one's going to be very close at all, to be completely honest. Up next, we have Virginia Tech versus Clemson. This one's a toughie here. Virginia Tech has kind of been trying to play their way into the tournament, but not quite getting there. They have to win this game against Clemson to stay alive. I put Tennessee there. That should be Notre Dame. Let me go ahead and fix that. Don't know why Notre Dame is hanging out there. Why Tennessee was hanging out there. Let's go ahead and update that. Whoops. There we go. Not sure what happened there. That was an oversight by me. But there we go. Virginia Tech versus Clemson there. I am going to have Virginia Tech here advancing on past Clemson into the quarterfinal round as well. That one I think Virginia Tech will be able to handle. Virginia versus Louisville. These two teams have been pretty storied as of recent times. Virginia did just go into Louisville this past weekend, which was yesterday, and beat Louisville by about 10. So because of that, I am going to have Virginia advancing on here to the quarterfinal round as well. So up first, Duke finally getting to play their first game of the ACC tournament here versus Florida State. Florida State did beat Duke at home earlier this year, but they haven't shown a lot since then. I am going to go with the Duke Blue Devils advancing on past Florida State into the semifinal round. Miami, Florida versus Wake Forest. I'm going to go with the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest advancing on to the ACC semifinals there. I do think that they'll be able to beat Jim Laranga's Miami, Florida Hurricanes. Up next, we have Notre Dame versus Virginia Tech. I'm going to go with a surprise upset pick here. I'm going to go with Virginia Tech. Now, I think both Notre Dame is safely in the tournament right now. I think they'll probably be like an 8 or 9 seed. But Virginia Tech is playing for their tournament lives here. I think Virginia Tech is a solid team. I think that they can upset Notre Dame there. And why not have some fun in the ACC tournament? There's got to be upsets somewhere. I got 7 seed Virginia Tech pulling off the upset over 2 seed Notre Dame, which sets up North Carolina and Virginia here. Virginia has to win this game to advance on to the NCAA tournament, but I just don't see it happening. I think Manick and Armando Bacot, they are going to advance North Carolina here with Caleb Love as well to the ACC semifinals past Virginia and end their tournament hopes, which sets up Duke versus Wake Forest for a spot in the ACC title game. I got the Duke Blue Devils advancing on there. Nothing against Wake Forest. Wake Forest went on the road, was within a half-court shot away from upsetting Duke, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I do think that Duke is the better team. They will advance past Wake Forest there into the ACC finals, which sets up Virginia Tech and North Carolina for a spot in the ACC finals. Virginia Tech, I don't think will do enough to make it into the ACC tournament, or into the NCAA tournament. I got North Carolina advancing on to the ACC final there, which sets up the rematch yet again. The best rivalry In college basketball, I do have to say Kentucky versus Louisville is probably number 2, but you got to go with Duke, North Carolina. You got to go with the Tobacco Road rivalry right there. Duke versus North Carolina for the ACC title, and I am going to go with the Fighting Coach K's of Duke. Now, I've said it all throughout this video. North Carolina did just go into Cameron Indoor Stadium and upset they upset Duke, but on a neutral court here in a rematch, I do think that Duke will be able to win that matchup there, and I do think that Duke will advance on and win the ACC championship. So those are my predictions for the ACC tournament. Let me know what you think of my predictions in the comment section below. Let me know your own predictions also in the comment section below. Don't forget to bet with BetUS. Join the Discord server. Join that NCAA tournament ticket giveaway. We are 1 week away from Selection Sunday. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.